Hello, geek fans. Welcome back to Geeks at the Movies. So, Shane, what do you want to talk about today? Wait, what the fuck?
Hola, geek fans! It's that time again. It's 4:30. It's Friday. We're shooting for the luxurious Goodrich Studios International, and this is Geeks at the Movies. I'll be your host this evening, and my name is Shane Goodrich. Joining me, as always, is our illustrious lead writer, the Mr. Jacob Desitels.
What's going on, guys?
You know the deal by now, folks. This is movie and TV talk from our perspective, the geek perspective. Today at Geeks at the Movies, we got tons of great stuff. We got more stuff about Star Wars, more stuff about Marvel. It is epic. Let's do this. We're starting off with World of Warcraft news. They're making a movie about World of Warcraft. And at this year's BlizzCon, Activision Blizzard released the first trailer for the upcoming movie, and now we've finally gotten a chance to see it. Jacob, what did you think?
I really like this trailer, actually. I was skeptical about this movie at first because as we all know, all video game movies suck.
Terrible.
It's just a rule.
It's a rule of thumb.
Yeah.
Very reliable.
But they got a really good director for this, Duncan Jones, who directed Moon, which I haven't seen, but I heard was really good. And so I was getting excited over time, and then by the time this trailer got released, I was really interested to watch it, and I really liked it. But what did you think?
I liked it, so let me get that out of the way before I start hating on it, which I'm going to do. It has the guy from Vikings, and I watched Vikings, the show. The main character is playing the hero on the human side. A couple of times I felt like he was playing the Viking guy, and it was a little weird. It kind of seemed slightly off, but we'll ignore that. I really liked the orcs and the orc stuff. I thought the orc stuff was really compelling. I actually felt like an emotional connection to what their plight. Our world is dying. We're coming here because we have no choice. The orc leader. By the way, I don't play World of Warcraft. I did play the Warcraft strategy games, so I can't remember all the names. The orc leader, these characters seemed very interesting to me. On the other hand, the humans just seemed bland. I was not interested in the human stuff. They seemed like they had a generic evil king. I'm like, oh god, this again.
Yeah.
But the orc side looked really interesting, and it made me overall have a positive impression of the trailer.
See, I agree with you that the orc side seemed interesting, but they looked too CGI for me. I thought they need to polish up the effects a little bit, because they didn't look finished for me.
What did you think about, though, some of the close-up shots? There's a few close-up shots where there's one shot where he's looking at his baby, and the baby does look a little too CGI.
Yes.
Yeah, but his face, they obviously use motion capture.
Yeah.
And his expressions, you could see the emotion in his face, and it's this strange, fantastic creature. That impressed me. Some of the other aspects of the CGI, the big fight, the big battle scenes and whatnot, I agree. They looked a little cartoony. But this is months out from the movie. They're going to polish that, so I'm reserving judgment on that. Yeah. The baby looked, it was weird. It was like something from Shrek or something. Yeah. I was like, wait, what's going on right here? But I just overlooked that. What did you think about the orc story versus the human story?
Well, I like that they're splitting it up. It's not just humans attacking the orc. It's that they're gonna have to work together to face a common threat. So, I like that they're showing both sides of the story. But I do think that the humans they were kind of just cardboard cutouts of
right. It was here's some generic Lord of the Rings kind of people.
Yeah.
Right. And they had, but the orcs to me it's all about. I was excited about the orcs because there's some talk before this trailer came out how are they going to balance the story? Yeah. Who's the hero? Who's the villain? Because they're trying to show shades of gray.
Yeah.
And it seemed a little generic what I was hearing about this, but now seeing it in action, I was just mostly impressed just by the orcs and the fact that they're not shown as just these horrible monsters.
Yeah.
I thought that was cool. It's a different angle, it's a different perspective. Because Lord of the Rings, orcs, Lord of the Rings is very black and white.
Yeah.
Here's the good guys. Here's the bad guys. That's fine. It works for Lord of the Rings. Tolkien, was an author that wrote, many years ago. But now in the modern age, this is kind of like the modern Lord of the Rings, right? It's very similar. But I want that ambiguity. I want to go, wait, is this guy good? Is this guy bad? So that's one reason I didn't like that king. Because he seemed a little bit generic. Bad guy. And I didn't like that. Whereas the Viking guy was good. And the orc characters, they worked for me.
Yeah, I'm actually not a World of Warcraft fan either. I've never played the game.
Have you ever played the original strategy games?
No, I've never played anything.
Anything? Wow. Well, we're geeks and we've never played World of Warcraft. Oh man, we have failed.
It's just too much of this thing for me. Where people just sit down and they don't leave. They piss in a bottle. And
I know.
Their food right there.
Yep, it is crazy. Did you ever see the South Park episode about?
Yes, that was hilarious.
It was hilarious. One of the best episodes, and apparently, they actually used the engine. But like other people that have played the game, I talked to them, they're like, yeah, that they're really getting the culture down right.
Yeah.
They nailed it. They knew all the right lingo. It was really cool.
Yeah, but this movie has a lot riding on it because not only is it like could it usher in a new age of video game movies, but also fantasy movies too. Because we don't see any fantasy movies after Lord of the Rings. It was just The Hobbit, which was
we had the Narnia movies.
Yeah, but
but then they failed too.
Yeah, those weren't huge either. So.
Right. Yeah, I was after seeing Lord of the Rings, I'm like, oh man, they're gonna have a bunch of Lord of the Rings ripoffs. And they didn't really.
It's because all the studios were too afraid of being compared to Lord of the Rings, so they didn't even try.
They had a bunch of like smaller scale movies, but they'd have a big budget, and then they kind of sucked. And they had like related stuff, like even the Narnia thing. It's like Harry Potter. It's It's not the same thing as the more grounded Lord of the Rings. One thing that we did get after Lord of the Rings, though, and I think that Lord of the Rings paved the way for, was Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
Because Lord of the Rings was that more serious fantasy movie, and Game of Thrones like, yeah, let's do this. Yeah. So I think we got that.
And maybe if this movie's good, it'll convince the people at HBO to actually make a Game of Thrones movie.
Ooh, imagine big budget Game of Thrones. It's already pretty big budget. Yeah. I mean, some of the episodes, I can't tell the difference between a movie.
Yeah.
Other episodes, though, it varies because they can't spend all their money at once.
Yeah. Oh. So I'm actually really excited for this movie, but I'm reserving judgment. I'm gonna hold it back a little bit because we've just seen so many bad video game movies, but I'm hoping that's going to
That's the problem, and I don't want this to fail. Even if I was interested in the topic, I don't want it to fail because I want those other video game movies.
Yeah.
Right? So, we'll see what happens, but let's now move on to item number 2. After Disney surprised fans by releasing a new international trailer for Star Wars The Force Awakens with new footage, 2 TV spots for the film have been released along with a buttload of new pictures. It was in all caps, and it's a convention, you shout.
Yeah.
Right.
Emphasis.
Thank you, Jacob.
Yeah. I liked the first TV spot that got released because I was just so surprised that they're showing us even more new footage. Because that international trailer surprised everyone. Because it's usually just a trailer with some a few new scenes, some stuff switched out. But that one was like 50% new footage.
Right.
And then
not just like new, like you said, not like a scene from a different angle.
Yeah.
A new scene, new stuff.
Yeah. And they continue to do that with the first TV spot, and I love the shot at the end with the Millennium Falcon bursting through the trees. That was so cool. And then we get to see that weird castle thing.
Yeah.
But then the second teaser or TV spot, that was actually what I expected from the first one because it was a lot of shots from the first TV spot, just showing at different angles. Doing that kind of deal. So I actually was thankful for that because I don't want to see that much more footage. I'm hoping that they'll just have some 1 or 2 more TV spots that are going to be like that. Just show stuff from the other trailers and things from different angles and a little longer.
I agree with you because people say, "Well, just don't watch it," but in this day and age, it's difficult, especially with what we're doing. We can't.
Especially when I'm just such a huge Star Wars fan, right. I'm gonna watch it.
It's a sick addiction you have to satisfy.
Yeah. and then the pictures. Those are pretty cool too. We got to see this awesome shot of these stormtroopers, and we got to see we've seen some of these pictures before, they actually been released as stills before this, the shot of the Knights of Ren. I love that.
I love that shot. Shot's great, and I'm really looking forward to see what the Knights do.
Yeah.
What things that they do, what weapons they use.
Yeah, and did they have lightsabers too?
Yeah. I have no idea, but it seems really cool. I'm getting pumped up for Star Wars now. I'm like, yeah, let's do this. And again, we didn't see Luke. Yeah. Where's Luke?
But we forgot to mention this when we talked about the international trailer before, or I can't remember if it was in the trailer or the TV spot. But Rey says that she's waiting for her family, Skywalker. That it has to be either Luke or Leia. it's one of the two. So she's definitely because all the movies so far have been the Skywalker story. So I think they're going to continue that with this movie, and I think they're kind of just they're giving us little hints at it because they don't want us to know, but they want us to continue our speculation.
Yes.
So,
I actually, what I hope is maybe they're at the end, maybe we keep seeing that scene where they're in the forest and Kylo Ren and them about to fight. Maybe that's at the end, near the end of the movie, and then who comes to save them? Luke.
Yeah.
Luke comes in and is like, yeah, get out of here. I'm a real Jedi.
Yeah.
And messes him up.
Yeah.
You're right. You know what I mean? And he almost kills him. Please don't actually kill him like they did with Darth Maul, because that was really stupid.
Yeah.
Don't do that. But he wins the battle easily. It's I'm Luke Skywalker.
Yeah.
I want him to be I hope they make him a complete badass.
Yeah.
Showing all the force powers. That's what I want. I don't want him to come in and be kind of lame. That should be really annoying if they do that.
Yeah. And a lot of people are speculating that him and Rey are connected, their family. So it's interesting to see them have one person on the light side, one person on the dark side. That they could be siblings or they could be cousins.
Right.
We don't know. But then that would even add more emotional complexity if Luke has to come in and stop his own son or something like that.
Wow. I hadn't considered that.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot. I mean, this is all speculation. We don't actually know what's actually going to happen.
Yeah, but I'm really excited, and I just really like these pictures, and some Entertainment Weekly covers got released. You can look those up. They're pretty cool. There's just some different angle shots.
Medium on those.
Yeah, but I really like these pictures. Really like the TV spots, and hopefully we won't see too much new footage. I just want to see a little bit more glimpses. Maybe even just a glimpse of Luke.
Ooh, glimpse of Luke. Anyways, let's move on now to item number 3. New pictures from the set of Marvel's Doctor Strange in Nepal have been leaked online, giving us our first look at Benedict Cumberbatch as Stephen Strange and Chiwetel Ejiofor as Baron Mordo. Jacob, I am hyped for this because they have Chiwetel Ejiofor,
one of the best actors working today.
Right, and they have Benedict Cumberbatch, one of the best actors working today. Right, it's awesome combination.
And this is actually different from what Marvel has been doing lately, because they usually get people that they get actors that people know, but that aren't fully on the radar. Yeah, and they turn them into stars. But
yes,
these two people, they're already stars.
Right,
they're already Academy Award nominated and winning actors. So.
Yeah, they're amazing. This is awesome. I'm pumped for this.
Yeah, the picture. It's a few pictures got released, but there's one picture where they're standing together. I like how Baron Mordo he's in his Baron Mordo garb, and Benedict Cumberbatch he's just Stephen Strange at that point. He's not Doctor Strange. He's not the Sorcerer Supreme yet. But he has the colors going on with his jacket, and he has bandages around his hand, which is because his hands get broken. Then he goes to find the sorcerer,
ancient one.
Yeah, the ancient one, and then she teaches him to mend his hands back together and just be a sorcerer.
Right. Because he's a surgeon, right?
Yeah, and so basically his career is over after his hands get broken.
Right. It's like being a concert pianist. You got to be so good.
Yeah.
And it's done at that point.
Yeah, and I'm just really excited to see this movie. I like how Benedict Cumberbatch has the beard going on, but hopefully that'll get a little trimmed up once he becomes Doctor Strange. But I'm really excited for this, and I just love the cast they have.
Yeah.
The person they have playing the ancient one, Tilda Swinton.
Yeah. Another great.
Yeah.
It's just awesome. It's so much awesomeness here. Jacob.
Yeah, I think they're gonna have a lot of really good acting in this movie, obviously.
Yeah, definitely.
And a lot of really good, just weird, other dimensional action going on, because that's what Doctor Strange does. He goes into other dimensions and just kicks ass.
And it's going to be interesting to see how some of these actors are going to play these roles.
Yeah.
Because they, Benedict Cumberbatch, I've seen him in a lot of roles. He plays very serious roles. The ones I've seen him in, Chiwetel Ejiofor from 12 Years a Slave. Right? I mean, these are very dramatic roles. This is much more lighthearted and over the top. So it'll be interesting how they take those roles on.
Yeah, I think this is going to be, even though it is going to stick with, the Marvel lightheartedness, I think it is going to be darker because they got a horror director to direct this movie. So I think it is going to have a little bit more of a darker tone, but it's still going to have, because he's kind of like Iron Man, Doctor Strange, because he kind of has an ego. So I think we're gonna get some quips from him, and then see him turn into this other character as the movie goes on.
Jacob, I have a really random question.
Okay.
Will Marvel ever get Meryl Streep and Daniel Day-Lewis?
No, because those actors, they've already done enough, and they don't want to sign their lives away to Marvel, because they gotta sign them on for at least 8 movies.
Oh well, my dreams have been crushed. Thank you, Jacob. Let's move on now to item number 4. In a new issue from Entertainment Weekly, we got our first look at Eddie Redmayne as Newt Scamander in the upcoming Harry Potter prequel, Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them.
Yep. So I'm not the biggest Harry Potter fan. I haven't read the books, but I've liked all the movies.
We'll be talking about the first movie
at
the end of the show during Old School.
Yeah, I've liked all the movies. I haven't loved any of them, but they've always been enjoyable for me. So when we're talking about Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them, it's kind of... You knew that eventually Warner Brothers was going to be like, hey, let's make a prequel.
Yeah.
Because...
Or a sequel, or a spin-off, or whatever.
Yeah.
Why not? They made tons of money on those things.
And they actually... I'm not sure about this, but you can correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, but I think they got J.K. Rowling to be involved with the script somehow for this.
She wasn't involved in the scripts for the movies?
Like she didn't write them, but I'm sure she overlooked them.
Right, but she's actually credits for the screenwriter.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
So, and then you got Eddie Redmayne, who is another fantastic actor. You haven't seen him in The Theory of Everything. Go watch that movie. It's great. Don't watch him though in Jupiter Ascending.
I've seen him at a few things. I saw him in this miniseries production called Pillars of the Earth, which also stars Ian McShane, of Deadwood fame. And Ian McShane's playing this bishop who's morally corrupt, but not. He's actually playing a character similar to Al Swearingen that he plays in Deadwood. And he's in it. That's actually the first thing I've ever... It might be the only thing I've ever seen him in. But it's a cool miniseries, and he showed he had chops in that. So I'm looking for. I'm not looking forward to this, but I'm interested in it to see how it turns out. Right.
I don't think.
Because I'm not a big Harry Potter fan either.
Yeah.
That's not something that really interests me, but it'd be interesting how it turns out.
Yeah.
Is this going to be a cheap cash grab? Is it going to be kind of whatever? How the fans are going to react?
I don't think it's going to be complete cash. It's always a cash grab.
Right. Oh, right. That's the point. That they think movies. It's an industry. It's a business.
Yeah. I don't think that's the complete reason, because they got. I can't remember the director's name, but they got a director that directed a lot of the Harry Potter movies.
Right.
So I think that they got people involved that know this world. That they have people involved that know how to shape this world and how to put characters into it and introduce them to us that characters that we don't know, like Newt Scamander.
Right. They want that they're actually they have a genuine interest and love of the world. They just want to explore it more.
Yeah, and there's some people saying there could be some connections to the Harry Potter universe, but this is years before, like decades before Harry Potter. So we could see a young Dumbledore. We don't know for sure. I do definitely think that there are going to be some little hints to it.
Well, that's just standard procedure. You have to have those hints.
Yeah, and I actually don't know anything about the character of Newt Scamander. I don't know if he's a wizard or something.
The name sounds ridiculous. I know that.
I know that he's just he's just a guy that writes this book, Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them, and then Harry Potter and them. They all grow up and actually come to study it at Hogwarts.
Yeah, that's good. That's a kind of a clever idea. But anyways, let's now move on to something that I'm actually quite interested in. Item number 5. The second full trailer for Marvel's Netflix series, Jessica Jones, has been released. I just saw it before the show started. Jacob, your thoughts?
I really like this trailer. Just like the first trailer, which I really like. It gave us a lot more of all the characters like Jessica Jones, and we got to see our first real look at David Tennant as Kilgrave. Because in the first trailer, we got a really quick glimpse of him. In this one, we actually get to see him in multiple scenes. He's wearing purple, obviously. So
because he's the Purple Man.
Yes.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. And I really like this trailer, and it was definitely more action based. The first one, it was kind of showing us the story and the drama involved. This one, it was pretty much all action.
Yeah, there was a lot of fight scenes. We saw her throwing people around.
Yeah, And I
making a bunch of jokes about how she managed to do that.
Yeah.
Oh, it's Pilates. You know.
But I like it because it's showing us how it's going to be different from Daredevil, while also showing us like it has the same tone. Because Daredevil, that's like very like martial arts fighting style. This one, she's just like just
it's just brute strength.
Yeah.
Because that's one of the reasons why I also find it risky to use people that are non-powered, because now you have a more realistic fighting style.
Yeah.
If you just have brute strength, you don't need to know anything about martial arts.
You can just literally just punch them.
You can just punch. You can throw people. You don't need to know that.
Yeah.
It's not that big of a deal. I mean, you can still incorporate that if you want, like the Captain America, which I really like that. I really like. But anyways, so I think they're going with the right direction here. The fight scenes look good. One thing I have to note about this is there's a line where she says she has to do things alone, which really annoys me.
Yeah.
This trope. Every superhero at every show never can get help from anyone else. It makes no sense.
Yeah.
And every time it happens... hold on, Jacob. Let me look into the orb of knowledge. Now, what am I seeing? She tries to go things alone. I don't need your help. Stay away. No, I don't need your help. And then suddenly, guess what? She needs his help.
Yeah.
That's what I predict, Jacob.
I do definitely agree with that. I do agree that it is a very annoying trope. But in knowing a little bit about this character, I think there definitely is a reason, because...
There's always a reason.
Yeah, but a very good reason. Because she gets, like... In this trailer, we see that she gets, like, mind controlled by Kilgrave. Yeah. And then so she pretty much, like, loathes him. She wants to kill him, and she wants to do it herself because she feels it's a personal mission that she's going on.
That does make sense. Like, it's personal. I want to be the one to do this. Yeah, but that doesn't mean you can't have help doing it.
And then there's that other girl who we also saw got mind controlled by Kilgrave. So, like, be a nice person. Let her help too.
Yeah, right. Jacob, these two trailers really nail something home for me. The trailer itself is an art form.
Yes.
Right? So let me say that the first trailer I liked much more than the second trailer. Much more. I thought the first trailer was a masterpiece.
Yes, I agree.
But the second trailer wasn't the show. It didn't make me like the show. I'm still pumped up for the show. The second trailer just made me more pumped for the show, right? Because it showed me shots of the show. But it was more like, here's things from the show. Like, the first trailer really felt like the person making it was like, I'm going to create something that's emotional and dramatic, and it's a work going to stand on its own. And it was like the tension that rose with the music. Yeah. I was stunned by that. It was beautiful. Yeah. Right. The second trailer was like, it's a trailer.
Yeah. The first trailer was to introduce us to the show and tell us what the story is going to be.
It had emotion to it.
Yeah, and the second one was just to get us more pumped.
Right. Yeah. It got me more pumped. The show was great. The trailer as a trailer, though, was less impressive. You know, because it was more like, here's a scene, here's the next scene, here's the next scene. Yeah. It didn't have that through line of that tension that constantly... It was so amazing. Like, I'm thinking about it right now. It's like pumping me up. Like that, and the music just gets louder and louder and louder. It was amazing.
Yeah. And by the time this episode is airing, this show will probably be like a few days away, because it comes out on November 20th, and I'm really excited for it.
Oh my god!
I'm gonna get a hold of my friend who has Netflix. Be like, hey, can I have your password? I really want to watch this show on Netflix just because I can watch it, instantaneously there, and I have to wait for it to come online later if I don't have it.
And on Netflix, it'll probably be the highest quality.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It won't be a lower resolution. It'll be, won't have artifacts. It'll be the best quality.
Yes.
Right? I am pumped for Jessica Jones. You just said it releases on the 20th?
Yes.
Oh man, it's only 2 days after Star Wars. It's going to be lots of work. Oh no!
No, it's 20th of this month. So next week.
Oh my god. Oh, Jacob, you just got me so pumped. I thought I would release next month. I didn't know this.
Yeah.
Let's do this. I am psyched. But now let's move on to item number 6. Watchmen actor Jeffrey Dean Morgan has been cast in The Walking Dead as Negan, an antagonist in the comic series. Jacob, you're spoiling things for me.
Yep.
Why did you do that?
Because I'm really excited to see this character on the show, and I think they got a really good actor to play him. So, Negan, those of you who don't know, and this is spoilers for the comic book and possible spoilers for the show too. So if you don't like, you can skip ahead to old school, but or Geek Talk actually. But this one, Negan, he's pretty much more sadistic than the Governor. even in the comic books. So and those are very big shoes to fill, and
indeed they are.
he starts off his comic book appearance by beating Glenn to death with a baseball bat, who he calls Lucille. He has a baseball bat wrapped in barbed wire. He calls Lucille, and he actually treats it like it's an actual person. And he kills people and he blames it on the bat. He doesn't blame it on himself. He's like, it was Lucille, man. Don't blame it on me. But he also has a potty mouth. Like every other word is the F word out of his mouth. So they have to change him for the show.
I really let me interject here.
Yeah.
It really pisses me off how Walking Dead can't use the word fuck.
Yeah, I know.
Other shows, Breaking Bad, Mad Men,
but
they were allowed to get away with using. I mean, yeah, they didn't use it a lot, but they were allowed to get away with it now and then. Why can't they do it on Walking Dead? I hate censorship in general. It really makes me angry. I think it's so illogical, irrational, stupid, and all it does is constrain artistic freedom. So it really annoys me. And now you have a character like central to his personality. That's like his thing. You have to alter it.
He can say shit like he can do shit instead of fuck. I don't know, but it is a very key element to his character. But they can do something different where it will still show how ruthless he is. And Jeffrey D. Morgan, he was the comedian in Watchmen. Who I love that movie. Have you seen The Watchmen?
Yes,
yeah.
It was the blue guy, the naked blue guy,
no,
right?
No, I'm talking about the comedian, the guy at the very beginning that gets killed. And
No, the movie has the giant.
Yeah,
that's how I remember.
Okay.
You talked to me about it. Yeah, and at the very beginning, I forget who does it. Some other guy breaks into his apartment, and they get into a fight. Yeah, and then they show the comedian like he's in Vietnam, I think maybe.
Yeah,
and he's brutal.
And they show that he's an asshole too.
Yes.
And that's the character that Negan is pretty much, because he's the leader of this group. I think in the show they're gonna make him the leader of the wolves. But
it seems likely from like that episode where they all invade and they all have, they're all savage and hacking people to death.
In the comics it's a little different because he's already an established force like in this community that they have, like because there's this one town, then there's another town called the Hilltop, and then there's Negan's place, and he rules over all of them. So they're gonna have to introduce him in this and make him like rise to power. Right?
Okay.
So I'm very interested to see him. I hope they keep him around for a long time and don't do the thing with the governor where they try to make us feel for him, because you can't feel for it's like literally impossible to feel for this guy because he kills Glenn. So I think they're definitely going to have to neuter him a little bit, but I hope they don't do it too much because he's such a brutal character, but also just a great antagonist to have.
All right, very well then, Jacob. We've now reached the part of the show that we call Geek Talk. This week we talk about anything in the Geekverse. This week we're talking about motion capture performances and how they have developed throughout the years. Motion capture, Jacob, is awesome. It is now a new art form in itself. Tell me what you think about motion capture.
Well, first of all, I think motion capture should be it should have a place at the Oscars.
I agree with you, because it's ridiculous. They overlook certain people's performances, like, oh no, that doesn't count as acting. I'm like, what are you talking about? The name just escaped my mind.
Andy Serkis?
Andy Serkis, right.
He's
the master of motion capture. He started his own company,
yeah.
mocap company, right? And his depiction of Gollum and Caesar are amazing.
And we're going to see him as Supreme Leader Snoke in The Force Awakens.
I mean, and the fact that those performances were overlooked, like, it bothers me. Like, those should be recognized because he does it so well.
Yeah, Caesar,
it's a lot of work.
Yeah, Caesar is great. He's a great character.
Yeah.
And, like, he puts so much emotion just in the facial expressions.
Yes.
Because he doesn't speak a lot, so he has to do that. But I really like seeing motion capture performances now, but, like, back in the day, it was so weird, like back in the early 2000s, because it didn't look good yet.
Yeah.
And now it's like an actual thing right there. Like
early movies, like they had the Beowulf movie that it was animated, but it was done by mocap.
Yeah.
Sometimes it has weird issues. You got Angelina Jolie's a monster, but it's not, the technology wasn't as good then. So like one problem that happened was you'd get like these amazing like the body, all the movements with the body. You're like, wow, it's how real people actually move. Yeah. Because what happened before that is you'd have bad CGI where people would be rubbery and they'd move. It's like, this doesn't make any sense.
I hated CGI in the 90s.
Yeah, because it looks god awful, right? So when they started having real people do it, at first you know, they got the body movements right. But the faces, you know, people were still animating and they couldn't really do it. Then they started using the dot technique to map it for computers, and it went to the next level. Yeah. Golem like helped pioneer that, Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, and they actually do mocap in a lot of video games now too.
Yeah.
And Andy Serkis, he was actually in a video game. I can't remember which one it was, but he was in that video game, and then they have Assassin's Creed. They do that for all the main characters now.
Yep.
Like the guy that plays as Constantine, actually in the show Constantine, and then in Arrow, he was actually the main character in Assassin's Creed 4. And I was playing that game when Constantine was on air, and I was like, holy shit, it's the same guy.
Yep. But it's really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I see that in video game now, and one thing that happens is not all, you know, companies are using mocap right yet. Some of them have got on board. Some of them are still using a lot more, you know, traditional animators. And it really stands out. Like recently released Fallout 4. I'm really looking forward to playing it. I want to review it, but I have no idea when that's going to happen because I'm very busy and it's a big game. You know, one complaint about Bethesda's games, and this is a common complaint, is the graphics are usually a little dated. You know, the game is complex and it's big and huge. It's also like the character movements are jerky and weird.
Yeah.
And it's like, why don't they just mocap people running? Why do they have an animator doing it? It looks all bad.
Yeah.
Right?
And
you need to get your mocap game on, Bethesda.
One of my favorite games of all time is The Last of Us, and I watched this how they actually filmed this scene. It was one of the cutscenes, and they actually filmed the people like in all the stuff acting the scene out.
Really?
And it was really cool, and it was really cool to see how they did that. And it's also really cool just seeing all the behind the scenes stuff of mocap. They have all the dots on their face, and they have like weird extensions for their arms and things.
Yeah.
Because they're going to be a different size than they are.
Yeah, like for example, like Andy Serkis when he plays Caesar, right? You know, they have to, apes don't have the same dimensions we have, so they have to kind of work that in there so it can help them perform.
And both for Caesar and Gollum, he was always scrunched down a lot.
Yeah,
he's already a short guy, but he has to scrunch down even more to make him look like he's actually that size.
And the most cool thing is, like you say, he's a short guy, but with mocap, right? You can do all kinds of things. Yeah. You can do all kinds of very interesting things with mocap, where you can take this person who's like 5 feet tall, somebody's 8 feet tall, and he's a giant monster, right? It's really cool the options available.
Yeah, and this is actually something. And going back to Star Wars here, he actually said in an interview, Andy Serkis, that the character Premier Snoke is very tall. So he's obviously not going to be the same height that he is in real life. And that's a whole separate topic, because people are saying that he could be a totally different character. But anyways, but it just shows like all the things you can do with motion capture now, because it's become such a big thing. It definitely is a totally different art form.
Right, it's a new experience for an actor, because now they can like be another creature. You could be an orc in the Warcraft movie,
and still be an actor.
Yeah, exactly. Still be an actor, still emote. Like one problem with sometimes with practical effects and say makeup is it covers up people's ability to act. Like when they had to wear monkey suits or whatever back in the day, like for Planet of the Apes. They're restricted in their facial movements, right?
Yeah.
So they can't express as much emotion.
Yeah.
Now you can cut back on the makeup. Now, usually what works best is when you have a combination of makeup and the facial, mocap stuff, and then you can really emote and express yourself. It's a great tool for actors, right? To do something different.
Yeah, I actually like to see more actors become like Andy Serkis and actually just be almost solely in the mocap game, because I think that would allow the Academy to recognize this as an art form and actually put it in the Oscars.
Andy Serkis is pioneering that. Like I said, he has his own company now. Yeah. Everyone knows, go to that guy.
Yeah, and because of him, I think a lot of actors who are in the traditional acting sphere, they're transitioning a little bit more into mocap now.
They're accepting it. At first they're like, I don't know about that. Yeah, I don't know about that. I'm an actor and I need to have my expression and everything. But this, they're like, oh, I can still be an actor. Yeah. I'm not just some cartoon character. I'm actually acting. I'm actually expressing and emoting.
Yeah, I really like motion capture. But if there are any performances that we didn't talk about here, you can comment in the comment section. What are some of your favorite motion capture performances on screen?
let us know. And now we're moving on to old school. This is where we talk about any movie over 10 years old. Jacob, it's so simple.
Yes,
What are we talking about this week?
Like we said before, we're talking about Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone. So, like I said before, I'm not a huge Harry Potter fan, but I've enjoyed all the movies. This one, though, as a kid, going into the theater and seeing this movie, I was so excited. I was so pumped going in and going out. And I actually still enjoy this movie. I watched some of the scenes over again, and the CGI definitely, like we were just talking about, really bad. But it was made like early 2000s, or like late 90s. But I still really like this movie, and it was such a big success that it started off 8 other movies. So, what do you think about this movie?
I saw this movie in the theater. I remember going to see it, and I remember there was a group of us, and half the group were like, "Why are you going to see this? Why? What? That doesn't make any sense. We're gonna go to the Buckland Hills Mall. We're gonna go, a mall nearby the theater that I went to." And we're like, "No, it got good reviews and blah blah blah." And none of us had read the books. Saw the movie. I didn't like the movie. I thought it was boring. That's pretty much it. All I have to say. It wasn't badly made. It wasn't bad acting. None of that. I didn't care.
See, that is my exact same feelings for all of the movies. Pretty much, there's so much pretty much for the fans. They had so much of that in there, and I don't get it.
Yeah,
so I'm just bored.
I don't get it. I'm like, okay, look, they're showing that guy. All right, is he cool? I don't know.
Yeah. There's a lot of like action scenes and stuff like that, but when they're just like sitting there talking and about stuff, I don't know what's going on. Like
I don't care. It's like whatever.
Yeah, this one.
He's got a lightning bolt on his head, or I don't know.
It was pretty much for me more like the middle films. Those were where it was like really boring for me. but these like the early ones, I actually got those more. But that also being said, my favorite one is the Goblet of Fire, and that pretty much is like smack dab in the middle. But that one, it's that one there. That was the first time I actually saw like Harry Potter like almost as an adult, because he's grown up by then. This one, like he was like 12.
Yeah, they're all little kids. That's another thing I'm like, yeah.
But it's also crazy that they kept the same cast like for the entire film series.
Yeah, he aged along with the films.
Yeah, and they didn't know how they were gonna age. Like they didn't know how they were gonna look when they grew up, and they look exactly like the characters look in the book apparently.
Is Harry short in the book?
Yep. And
wow.
Neville, the kid with the rat.
Yeah.
He grows up to be like super handsome in real life, and that's how he was in the book too. Like he's like super long and lanky.
Wow.
Yeah. But
that bothers me, by the way. We like when they cast people, like they don't know how they're gonna be when they grow up.
Yeah.
And then they grow up and it's like really awkward. Like this happened on Sopranos, and this I know anything about Sopranos. So they got this kid that looked like he'd be Tony Soprano's son, right? When he was a little kid.
Yeah.
He grows up on the show, and when he grows up, he's this short, tiny guy who's like 5'3", and Tony Soprano's this big, hulking, menacing dude. I'm like, he doesn't look like his son at all. Right? And because of that, like, if he had grown up looking like Tony Soprano, looking like can't think of the actor's name at the moment he died, looking like him, I bet you they would have incorporated him in part of the mob.
Yeah.
He'd be like, he would have followed in his father's footsteps, but he couldn't play that role physically.
Yeah.
So then they went another direction, and I found it boring. Like, to me, if I was hiring a child actor when I was a kid, they predicted how tall I'd be. They do this, and they can do it with surprising accuracy, right? So if you have a kid and he has a dad that's really tall, you want to make it look kind of similar, because people tend to follow. This is not always the case, but they tend to follow their parents, and especially in like a dramatic role, it's often good to have that child that follows in the father's footsteps. Like they predicted my height at 6'1". I'm 6'2". That's pretty good. I'm not sure about you and how they predicted your height, but they're usually pretty good.
I don't remember that.
Oh, okay, yeah.
But in Harry Potter, they did that really well.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, and Ron is my favorite character. But
Ron is the redhead?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, he's my favorite character just because he's the comedy relief, but he's still much more than that at the same time. And this movie, it introduced us all to these characters. Like people that hadn't read the books, they were like, "Wow, like this is crazy. It's another fantasy series."
That's what I was thinking, Jake. And then I went, "Oh, it's boring though."
You gotta watch all the other ones. This is the only one you've seen.
It is the only. You're right. It's the only one I've seen. Maybe the other ones get more excited because I guess when they grow up, it might be more interesting to me.
Yeah.
It was too kiddie. Like you know.
Yeah, it was. There's that really bad scene. I liked it at the time, but watching it now, it was a really bad scene with the ogre in the bathroom, and there's this part where Harry jumps on his head, and it's obviously a very animated Harry Potter on top of his head.
Yeah,
it was really bad. But
yeah, so they need to just do some mocap right there, right? Anything else you want to say about Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone?
Well, I really like it, and I really like the series as a whole. I don't necessarily like this movie. I don't love this movie. It's okay. It's medium.
It's medium.
But I really like the Goblet of Fire. So if you haven't seen Harry Potter, just know that so many people love these series.
Yeah, millions of books have been sold.
We're in the minority here.
Yeah, that's true. We are.
So if you haven't seen Harry Potter, don't take our word for it. Go and experience it for yourself. Just keep in mind it can be pretty boring when they get too much into the book stuff.
Right, and if you've already read the book, you've already seen the movie, so I'm not even gonna recommend it to you because you've already seen the movie.
Yeah.
Jacob, though, sadly now we've reached the end of Geeks of the Movies. You know this is always a sad time. I have to hold back my tears. I'm almost breaking down right now.
Yeah.
Where can they get more great geek video content?
You can go to our YouTube channel at Geeks at the Movies. We have so many videos there now.
Over 100. We've touched over 100 videos.
Yeah, there's so much content you can go check out. You can also like us on Facebook, where we post all our videos. On Twitter, at Geeks at the Movie, drop the S. Where can they email us? geeksofthemovies.ct@gmail.com. And where can they watch us?
They can watch us on Charter 192 and CBC 5, 4:30 every Friday in the Eastern Connecticut area. And also, you should know we're trying to get more guests on the show. We've been doing some card game stuff with our friend Caleb. We're going to get other people on the show, people in the community. So if you're in the Eastern Connecticut area, if you're around Willimantic, Windham, the surrounding towns, and maybe you want to be in Geeks of the Movies, hey, write in the comics section. Yell at me when I'm walking around town. Let us know. We want to hear from the geeks. We want to get more people involved, make this more community stuff. But now we've reached the end. Jacob, my name is Shane Goodrich. Jacob, what is your name?
Jacob doesn't.
We've been Geeks of the Movies. Puzzles, we do it. We do puzzles, look at little humans. He's a little. No, it's dangerous. It's dangerous. You're very dangerous. You're a deadly beast.